Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hi, everybody. I am Nick, and welcome to this week's episode of Rewatch. We are continuing our journey in the Fire Nation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and this week we will be discussing the episode "The Western Air Temple." And Jared, what did you think of this episode?
Okay, I have mixed feelings about this episode, and the mixed feelings come in near the end of the episode, honestly, because the rest of it's pretty good. I like the lore it establishes. I like the design of the air temple, how like part of it's upside down. That was really cool. I like Zuko's arc in this. It's just
Hello, Zuko here.
yes, I love the rehearsal. Just one thing happens, and it was cool when it happened, but it's one of those things where I was like, why didn't anyone ever do this before?
Okay.
I'm gonna tease that because we won't be up at that point yet.
Well, Jared hasn't even told me what this is yet, so I don't even know at this point. So yeah, this takes place right after the Day of Black Sun, where they have their defeat. They fail to defeat the Fire Lord. They go into hiding. Zuko is like, "F you, father. I'm gonna do my own thing." He kind of goes full Nightwing on everybody. Like, here, do you understand why I love Zuko so much? Like, do you understand?
Yeah, he's a great character. In a lot of ways, he's like Razor from the Green Lantern show. That's a tease to the show we're gonna watch after Justice League Unlimited.
Ooh, announcements. But yeah, so they get to the Western Air Temple, and I just really like how like it's like, "Hi, Zuko here," and then it's revealed he's talking to like a frog.
Yeah, I love this. They make it sound like he's actually talking to Team Aang, but he's actually just rehearsing it. I just love how he goes through all these different versions of rehearsing it.
And I love how like those hang on people, they always conveniently disappear right before the action's about to start. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like if I were to have one critique, they very deliberately wrote them out of the scene right before action's about to start. Like it's not very well done in my opinion.
Yep.
So I'm gonna knock a little bit out of that one, but yeah. So and I love how it's like, oh, someone else is here, and they see Zuko. What did you think about that whole initial confrontation?
I love how like at first I love how they're bringing up. So he's like, "I'm sorry, I hired an assassin to come kill you." And they go, "You hired an assassin to kill us?" And he's like, "Maybe I'm not doing this correctly."
That's not actually his name, but you know, like I love the implication.
I like that part.
By the way, we never actually find out the dude's name, but like I love the implication that Zuko knows what the guy's name is, which makes sense, you know.
I'm gonna say this: the issue I have in this episode comes in, and it involves that man. So more on that when he shows up.
I think I have a feeling of what it might be, but I'm trying to think here. You know.
You can say you hit the nail on the head with that one, Nick.
Just call me Captain Boomerang, my friend.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. And this is really my issue with all of season 3. This character's inclusion.
Which, by the way, if you do not put Sokka on your cover of this week's episode of Justice League, I will be mad. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, more on that later.
But anyway, so yes, Zuko is not doing a very good job. But he does kind of make a little bit of road. It's like him even the gang is like, yeah, he did one good thing. He freed Appa, you know. But here's the thing I love about this: their trepidation is 1,000% justified.
Oh yeah, it's 100% justified. After we have 2.5 seasons of this dude making their lives a living hell.
I'd say like one season, but yeah, still your point still stands.
My point is they have a long-standing history of this man making their lives a living hell.
Yeah, and I love how like I'm gonna say this, Toph is the MVP of this episode. I'm saying it
Yes,
right
she
now.
is. I love Toph in this episode.
Like she's kind of the one like being the pragmatist here. But also you gotta realize she wasn't around for the events of season 1. Like so she doesn't like she's encountered Zuko, but she hasn't seen Zuko at his worst, you know.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite line is like, and I'm supposed to be the blind one here. Like that is a really good line.
Yeah,
And like
I love
also,
that.
there's also the other thing is like she can feel he wasn't lying, he wasn't being sincere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kind of go all set down, and it's kind of at night, and what like so we get like a very very cool scene where like Zuko hears some rustling, he does some firebending, and it's Toph would come to see him. What did you think about that scene?
I love where she shows up and then he just accidentally like burns her feet. And then he goes, "Why is it so hard to be good? Why am I so bad at being good?"
Like I really feel like even in the moment, I think part of Toph knows he didn't mean it, but she's so like overcome with panic because you got to realize she sees with her feet. She is blind.
Mm-hmm.
She is literally crawling around blind, and like I totally like I just yeah, I love it. Like the next day, it's like, we haven't seen Toph. Like you realize she's literally been crawling through the mountain the entire night.
Yeah, I know.
And it's such a tough thing. And I love how even the first thing, it's like, yeah, it's kind of an accident. Like, but at the same time, like, see, this is what like I feel like this is a very classic Avatar scenario where no one is wrong, no one is right in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, Toph snuck up on him. Maybe she could have yelled, "Hey, Zuko," or whatever, like kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Should Zuko have reacted so harshly? No. Do you blame him? Also no, because he's in the forest. He's an enemy of the Fire Nation.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know like who might be trying to hunt him down. So his reaction, while harsh, is kind of understandable. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, I just like how much effort Zuko's putting into being accepted by the very people he had hunted and tried to kill many times.
Yeah. Also, I have to invoke this meme. It's like Zuko is like the quintessential like boss character when you face him, boss character when you unlock him as a playable character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that trope.
Yes, I do. Like, I love where he goes, "I'm good now."
This is what I love about the episode. He's such a like Zuko at his heart is a dweeb, and I really wish we were on your channel. You could play the clip, but like, oh my god, Zuko is such a dweeb, dork. I love him. But yeah, so we get Sparky Boom Man makes his second appearance. He's hunting him down. All right. Wait. We're not quite to the part yet. So
the fight was awesome. Let me be clear.
I like how Zuko is trying his hardest to stop him.
Because you know what this is? This is a sniper attack. They somehow made sniper attacks in Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what's cool about this. And that's why what happens later is so infuriating.
All right. Trust me, I kind of have a retort for that where I feel like I have a shot of kind of making you change your mind, but we'll see. But like I figured out his plan, Jared's plan. But like so he's basically they've got them kind of like pinned down, and can we just give it to Sokka here? Like that dude's it's a mathematical what
MVP.
So what you're saying is, so my MVP for this episode is Toph. This one is Sokka's boomerang.
He came in clutch. That boomerang.
No, but let's kind of break down just how awesome this feat is. They're being like he's literally like being snipered at, and he's being shot at, like he's under fire basically, and he's doing a complex geometry equation on the spot under fire and nails it without even seeing the guy. He's triangulating it based off the sniper shots,
Yeah.
there are like elite snipers who would have trouble doing that.
This is one of those times where you start to think, where because Sokka comes off as like the jokester of the group, but when the chips are down, he's like one of the most valuable people.
Yeah, like this is not the first time Sokka has had moments of brilliance. This guy is like wicked smart, you know. Well, it's wicked smart, you know. And so he does the boomerang and nails the guy right in the eye. Jared, go.
And no one thought to do that any other of his appearances.
To be fair, there's really only like what, 2?
No one thought to aim for the frickin' eye.
Okay, Jared, here's my retort. There's really only like what, 2 appearances, like 3 maybe.
Yeah,
and they did actually do like put a rock in his eye in the second to last appearance.
Then why does the boomerang make him blow up?
Because remember, in the last appearance, this is that like they actually set it up in a previous episode, in the scam episode where he appears, where like they throw a pebble at his face and he's having problems, like it's it's causing problems with him. But like I feel like the gang gets out of there before they see the full effects of it. So I think like I'm gonna say they don't really understand. Like I think like, oh, we got lucky maybe. Like that's my argument. But at the same time,
but why does it make him blow up in this case?
He got hit with a boomerang.
He got hit with a rock previously.
A small pebble.
Small pebbles are deadly if thrown at the right velocity. Okay,
so I'm going to make an argument here. This is basically me kind of like, this is conjecture. This is my own, I'm kind of fanning a little bit. Frick off, Bard. So I feel like combustion bending is very heavily a mental discipline because like the eye on the forehead is a symbol of like psychics a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're kind of like, focusing mental fire energy.
And that works. That's not my problem. My problem is, why hasn't Sokka tried this? Why haven't any of the people just said, just light up his eye?
To be fair, it was like one, like...
You have a blind bandit that can toss rocks at people.
He did kind of catch them at a disadvantage, and he had them pinned down.
No, but like previous to this, where you had the opportunity to, you didn't go for the eye. It's like in Infinity War, you didn't go for the head. Well, in that case, Thor was operating off of emotion. They weren't operating off of emotion.
They only like I would say they partially found out about the head weakness in the very last encounter. Like they haven't seen him since they found out the weakness.
No, but again, because if you see his powers coming out of this third eye, let's just hit the eye. Why didn't they do this beforehand? It was that easy.
Because they caught him. They were caught off guard, and he was at a height. Like literally, Katara said.
I know why the scene is set up. I'm just saying why because this is not the first time they've been at a height and at a disadvantage. They didn't try this before.
They were pinned down with a sniper. It's like
no, I get Nick. I get the scenario. I'm saying in the previous occasions.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
Yeah.
How many times have you heard the argument, why don't they just shoot the gun out of his hand? This is the same thing, okay? As a person who is military, who knows arms, I'm
not in the military, to be clear. I've never served in the military.
Fair enough, but you are an enthusiast.
I'm an enthusiast, yes.
So you're aware of the why don't they shoot the gun out of the hand argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a small point and you go for center mass. My argument is I love how heated we're getting.
But this is dealing with people with superpowers, Nick. Logic goes right out the window the minute they introduce blood bending. Yes, I'm bringing that back. The minute you introduce blood bending, all logic goes out the window.
Okay. I go off the logic of the universe. Of the particular in-universe stuff. And by and large, this show does operate off of normal physics to a degree, okay? So I believe the why don't you shoot the hand argument does hold water, if you will. It's a small target. Then it'd be a very you got to realize they're like 500 feet away from him. He's right above them. It's a very hard target.
I'm not saying
Literally,
it's
the
not
only
a
way
good.
they could have done it is with the boomerang.
No, but I'm not saying it was a good feat. I'm saying there were plenty of times when he did show up where they were closer, and it would have been easier to take that shot, and they didn't.
Okay. So let's just kind of like wheel it back. Like I said, there's only really been 3 encounters with this guy. 3. This one and the 2 before that. They only learned about his weakness at the very tail end of the second encounter.
No, but here's the thing. It's just when you see someone that you see where his thing is coming from, why don't you target that point?
Because you don't know if it's a weakness or not. It could be weakness. It could not be. Just because you think something is a weakness, and it doesn't mean it's like they don't know for sure. And are you really going to waste like 5 seconds trying to hit that when like let's say Aang tried to hit it, he could get killed. You know, what if it isn't in those kind of situations, you got to go for what you know. And if you don't know if it's a weakness or not, it's not worth targeting.
Okay, I guess I'm just going off the logic because they ran into this problem in the first Justice League animated movie, Justice League War. They recognized that, Darkseid's Omega beams come out of his eyes. Then Wonder Woman says immediately, okay, let's stab him in the eyes. That's done. Promise all.
Well, the thing is, every time they encounter him, it's always they're caught unprepared, and they really don't have time to plan. Like
so are the
really,
Justice League.
But also you got to realize those are adults. Those are heroes. They're trained. They have training.
Roughly 20-year-olds in this particular version of the universe.
And these guys are 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds at best. They
are
are
in a
kids.
war.
They are children. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they have all this experience and training. They're also and it's I don't know.
But my problem is that, okay, going off of that logic, if they didn't have the experience and training and stuff, why did they go for it now?
Because they had known about it at the tail end of their last encounter. They knew it was a weakness. They knew it was.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way they could have done it is with Sokka doing his boomerang, because they made it very clear that they were a pin. Remember that line from Katara? Where it's like, oh, I can't get out there with my water. Because she could have sent icicle spikes at him or whatever, you know?
Which she did.
Yeah, but also the thing you got to realize is, I'm sure she was at least hoping one of them would hit him. But also, there's probably at least 200-300 feet in between them, and he's here and they're here, you know?
No,
so they're in a very bad
disadvantage. In this episode was great. It's just, see, the thing is, I just wish that when they hit him, he didn't explode, because then it just seems like, okay, so all you had to do was hit that tiny thing, and this badass that you were hyping up just blows up.
To be fair, the greatest hero ever can be taken down with the space rock.
I know, it's really
and at one point, the most powerful ring in the galaxy was stopped by a color. I said at one point.
Yes, but it's not anymore.
That's why I said at one point.
And there's a very specific reason for that. But my point
literally the last Martian. It's like what Batman said on Martian Manhunter. All I need is a penny for a box of matches.
Yeah, you know who else shares that weakness? Literally every being in existence.
That is an argument for another time, but we'll
no,
talk
but
about that.
My point is, this just seemed really stupid to me.
Not enough to really your enjoyment. I figure you're going to rate this somewhat highly.
I liked the episode. I liked everything else in the episode. That one part was utter moronic, almost at the level of bloodbending.
Okay. I made my case, and you disagree. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Also, can I just kind of give us some props? Where it's we just had a very heated debate, and we were friendly the entire time.
Yeah,
can I get a bro fist?
Yeah, it's we get it. It's not like neither of us are
fictional characters.
Yeah, fictional characters. It's I just said, here are some reasons. You gave me valid arguments. It wasn't stuff that I really buy from what I've seen. And that's just me.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got 2 scenes left. We got the scene where they're kind of talking again. And I really like the scene where where Zuko talked about him like burning people so accidentally, and I just love the moment where it clicked in Aang's head. Like they did a really good job.
That was a good moment. That was good.
And it's a good callback to like the Zhang episode where they actually mentioned Zhang, which, let's be honest, Zhang was probably like the only other person who could have taught him. Iroh's on the run, but like, here's the thing. If the gang had known about the White Lotus, well, to be fair, if they'd known about the White Lotus, they would have reached out to them. That would have made things like a little bit too easy, but okay, I'm not going to use that. But yeah, they couldn't have found Zhang in time. Who knows where he is? Actually, we will see Zhang again, but that's beside the point. But yeah, so what do you think about like the gang putting it to a vote? What do you think about each person's reaction?
I like that. This is my other. It's a way more minor issue than the stupid one from early in this episode. So that everyone immediately just jumps on when they were so gung-ho against. But then again, that's explained. But wait, here's the thing. That was my issue up until I remembered he did risk his life against Mr. I have a stupid ass weakness. So
and I mean it's more to it than that. But like we kind of did skip over the scene where Toph kind of points out like Aang needs a firebending teacher, and one of them just literally shows up on a silver platter, literally the only person in the entire world who could teach you, literally the only firebender in the entire world who would teach you. Like,
yeah, I love that moment.
But also, they weren't like gung ho about it. Like, all of them were very trepidatious, including Katara, which we'll get to that in a second. Like Toph's like, this gives me a chance to mess with him again. Like, just classic Toph. I love her. And then Sokka's like, well, you need a firebending teacher, and if like he just kind of goes with Aang. Same with Katara, but like she has a little more reservations. But I really love like as soon as they did that, they actually like went into the temple and like kind of left him behind. I thought that scene was really great because it just shows you right off the bat he may be a part of the group, but he's not one of them yet.
Yeah, he has to earn their trust.
And then we get to the showing them the room, and then Sokka's like, "Yeah, this is gonna be weird." Like, how would you feel if you were on like a world-changing quest and like a year or so ago, every day you had someone try and kill you? Now he's literally your next door roommate. Like he says he's changed, and you want to believe him. Like, how weird would that be?
It would be weird. And then again, I've hung out with Lois Lane fans. I was trying to bring in a Lois Lane dig.
Of course. And then we get Katara being literally the best. She like. What do you think of that scene?
I like that because again, it's like you're not like you may be one of us, but you're not one of us.
I love they went so close to the line with this one where it's like I will make sure your destiny ends right there. Oh my god, that is like 2 hairs breadth away from just I'm gonna kill you. I mean, she basically said that. Like holy crap, they went there. How did you feel about that line?
Solid. I liked it. It worked a lot. It worked very well for Katara's arc and Zuko's arc.
Oh, yeah. It was just oh my god. And then like right after that scene, mentally I was just like,
all right, everyone, chill.
Which even works even more considering we're doing with a waterbender.
Yeah. All right. So overall, what do you think of this episode?
Overall, I give it a solid 7 out of 10 because I'll take off 3 points for the stupidity of the Combustion Man.
Come on, 3 points.
Yes, 3 points. Everything else was good. Hey, at least I gave it an above average.
I feel like an 8 would probably be more appropriate.
Nope. You can give it an 8. I give it a 7. I'm sticking to my guns.
7.5?
Nope, 7.
Still an improvement. So
an improvement, but not much from the past couple of weeks.
I give this a 9. It is a great episode, good above average episode. And Jared, did I not tell you that the episodes do get better after Day of Black Sun?
I'll wait until I have a couple more episodes of it, a couple more weeks before I can make that determination.
But we're off to a good start. The second half is off
to a better start.
But
let me put it this way: no one has started bloodbending yet.
Yeah, I feel like the next episode we are doing the firebending masters, where you DBZ fans, I think, are gonna feel very represented here.
Yes.
And I do feel like you probably will like this episode, but it does kind of have like the humor that you're not particularly fond of. So I'm going to make a prediction.
I'm preparing my points off.
I think you're going to give this a 7 or an 8 the next episode. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Chances are he'll be wrong.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right. So this has been Nick from the Phoenix Press and the person with the worst taste in shit, Jared. And remember, I can only show you the door. You're the one to walk through.
Nightfire sucks.